Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
This here is a true story about crossing the pond at night in the world's smallest cockpit on the tanker through the weather. Oh, and to the tanker crew who did that, thanks a lot. We really appreciated that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond.
So there I was, my first night refueling off of C-130 in the Caribbean, and the tanker decides to roll into a 90-degree bank.
What? No. 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 Whoa. Well, welcome to So There I Was, and that's how a terrifying aviation story starts. This is Fig, one of your co-hosts, and I'm coming to you from Denver, Colorado, because I'm working. Where's my other co-host?
Here in New Hampshire, where summer was here for a couple days, and it looks like we're back to either late spring or early winter. Not sure which, but greetings, everyone. Repeat here in New Hampshire. Glad you could join us today. And it is my special honor to be able to welcome retired Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Horny. Welcome, sir.
Glad to be here.
That's
Glad
not.
to have you.
That's
All right,
not how-
so your aviation career, however, I'm guessing didn't start that night wandering across an ocean with a tanker going 90 degrees. When did
No.
you first look skyward and go, looks like something I might be
I
interested
got to
in?
do that. I got to do that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
got to.
Probably when I was in college at Naval Academy, and I got interested in flying. It's either that or boats, and so I decided to go fly.
All right.
Well, that was an excellent choice, sir. But I also want to, I know how this ends, but I also want to, let's see, thank you for making another excellent choice. And that is where your commission would be, where it was going to land after the Naval
Right.
Academy.
Right. Yeah. How'd you choose the Marine option? Well, let's back up a little bit.
Hold on.
How'd you choose the Academy?
Well, I had gone to a military high school in Washington, D.C., and I enjoyed the discipline, the life, and so I looked at what I considered the best of the services, the Marine Corps, rightfully so, I think.
Yes.
And so I applied to the Naval Academy through my congressman in Michigan and got them. Actually, I was one of two nominees that of his. He had 16 that took the entrance exam and only two of us passed. And so I got the nomination. I got one of the two nominations he had that year.
Outstanding.
Nice.
What year was
Okay.
that, sir? What year did you get, would you start the Academy?
1957.
1957. Outstanding.
Wonderful year.
So 57, you're a 61 graduate?
Right. 61 graduate.
He didn't do the extra football season plan like so many of my compadres at LSU did. So, very cool. All right.
Outstanding.
So, were your parents military?
No, my father was an attorney and my mother was housekeeper.
Okay.
Any military and, the generation before that, any connection, or you just decided you like that lifestyle from this high school experience?
That's it. I had an uncle that was in the Navy in World War II, but he worked on PT boats. But that's the only military connection we had.
Okay. All right. So you wake up at the Naval Academy. I imagine that was a pretty loosey-goosey, easy going when you showed up in 57 as a
Yeah.
plebe.
Yeah, right.
You know, how you doing, sailor? What's up, chief? What was that like? You had some experience with a military high school, but that had to still
Yeah.
be a little bit of a shock, as
Well,
it is designed to be.
I knew how to march and how to do the manual of arms, but that's about all it ever compared to what, plebe year was like. That was
Inspirational. That would be that'd be a
exactly.
good way to.
Yeah. Good way
All
to
right.
put it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how were you greeted upon arrival, I guess?
Yeah. Well, hell, let's preface this by telling you one of our guests was greeted with a punch to the face. He ended up retiring as a 2-star general in the Marine Corps, or maybe it was a 3-star. What was he? Gallo?
I think Gallo was
The major general.
2-star, I think, right?
Well,
you probably know Gallo, don't you?
Yeah,
Joe
I
Anderson.
knew him too.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he showed up to the Naval Academy. He walked up and said, "Hey, how you doing?" and was punched in the face.
Yeah. No, I had this. That was like boot camp in a way, but they yelled and screamed at you, but I knew that was coming, and you
Right.
just
Okay.
ride it out.
Took it in stride and kept
Yep.
on going. Learn your knowledge. Very cool. All right. So was there anything while at the Naval Academy? I mean, the Blues were already a team by then, although they aren't quite what they are today. Did you see them, or what? How did you get the aviation bug while there?
Yeah, what inspired you to go aviation?
I was always kind of interested in aviation, and it's just the academy, the naval aviation inspired me. Just was drawn to it. I like it, and the Marine Corps same way. So marine aviation just kind of was my goal from the day I entered, and I just worked. I was the only guy in my company that went in the Marine Corps.
Wow,
And
that's saying
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was
Interesting.
inspired
Yeah.
by the officers at the Marine officers at the academy.
Okay.
Well,
And
obviously, your fellow classmates did not have the critical thinking ability that you exhibited when you made that outstanding choice.
Well, I meant just in my company. There are plenty of fantastic classmates that went in the Marine Corps with me.
Sure. So upon graduation in class of 61,
Right.
that was pre going to the basic school, right? You showed up right at Pensacola for flight?
No.
Oh, you had to go to TBS?
Oh, yeah, I went to TPS. And then about 18 months or so in flight school, and then direct to Cherry Point to the fleet. We didn't have a RAG or a fleet replenishment squadron. We went.
Okay.
We got our wings, and the next plane was I flew an A4 by myself, and that was the next stop.
Okay. Well, let me back up just a little bit then. So Pensacola, were you entire time in Pensacola, or did you go to anywhere?
I went
Meridian,
to
Beeville,
Pensacola.
Kingsville?
From there, I went to, after Sawflick Field, I went to Meridian, back to Pensacola for CQ and gunnery, then at Kingville for advanced jets,
Oh, wow.
F9s and F11s, and then got my wings and right to Cherry Point.
Okay.
So for primary, did you fly the T-28? Or was
No,
it T-34?
T-34B.
T-34B. Okay. And then what did you go to the? Did you go to the boat in intermediate jets in Meridian?
Yeah,
Was-
I went both in T2s and F9s.
Okay. Okay. So the A4, the TA4 wasn't yet the advanced trainer.
Yeah.
It was F9s and F11s.
Right.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That's pretty
Nice.
bad.
All right. So you show up at your first gun squadron. Where was your first gun squadron? Which one?
533. It was A4Bs out of
Okay.
Cherry Point. And I was there for, about 18 months. And then they start transitioning to A6s. And I
Oh, that's right.
went up to Glenview to be a general's aide and so I flew with the reserves, I flew A4Bs and As.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Glenview Naval Air Station, which is just outside Chicago. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Did that. And then the general I was with got orders to Vietnam. And so he said if I wanted to, I could go with him, but he put me in the gun squadron. So that's what I did. I went right into 214 at
bless you.
Chula.
Okay.
Chulai.
Nice. Yeah. So VMA 214. Nice. So I want to back up a little bit. So the first time you flew an A4, it was not a TA4.
No.
Just jet. Go get it. Don't crash it, or what?
That's
How'd
it. It was kind of funny. We didn't, this is before NATOPS. We had a flight handbook, and
Okay.
we had a ground school of about, I think it was 5 days of ground school to teach you the systems. And then we blindfold cockpit check. And then about a hour and a half brief, 2 hour brief. And then you're off on your FAM 1. And I remember it was Friday afternoon for my FAM 1. And while we were out, we basically went out and practiced the landing pattern. And because in the A4, remember, you had a big pitch change when you put the gear down and the flaps down in the A4. And so, yeah, I practiced that a couple of times. Then coming back to Cherry Point, the duty thunderstorm had moved in.
The duty
And so,
thunderstorm. Yeah.
1400, right on schedule.
my first landing was about 1700, something like that, in the evening, but it was dark and
Must have
down to
been wintertime.
minimums in a thunderstorm.
Oh, nice. Yay.
Yeah, that's my FAM 1.
Nice.
Hey, can I back up just for a second? In Kingsville, the F9 and the F11, was that all single seat? Or was there two seats tonight?
We had both single and we had the AF9J.
Okay.
Which was a single seat, and then we had the two-seaters. And for the instruments and everything, of course, it was two-seated, but some of like when I went to the boat in an AF9 single seat, F9.
Okay.
And the F11, of course, is all single seat.
Outstanding.
That's
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
It's kind of a survival thing.
Right. Okay. So back to your first ride in the A4 out through the landing pattern down to minimums. That's special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as I recall, that jet didn't have an ILS. Was that a PAR? Or?
Yeah, it was a PAR. A4B didn't have a whole lot of instruments.
No. Oh man, no kidding. So yeah, here are the keys. Don't kill yourself. The blind cockpit check.
Yeah,
Briefing. Here are the keys. Don't kill yourself.
exactly.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice, right?
The accident rate in those days was unbelievable compared to what we tolerate now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I seem to recall, in fact, the first time that we did a history thing on was it the 50th anniversary of 223 Fig that we did that history dinner, and they said they lost 4 jets the first time 223 went to the boat.
yeah, that sounds about right. And they had a video, or they had an 8mm movie of it with no sound.
Yeah. Yeah, to have 2 or 3 Class A mishaps in a year was.
It's just
Is that a good year?
Right?
Yeah, that was a fairly average year. Those
Well,
days.
you said you started flying the A4 before the NATOPS manual. So,
Before NATOPS,
NATOPS manual was pretty much written in blood from everything that was learned prior, right?
Yeah. When did do you recall when that came in, and who was the impetus behind that? That's not trying to play stump the dummy. I'm just curious if you know.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. It was there.
'Cause that's what we cut our teeth on. Fig and I never knew a Marine Corps without NATOPS. And
I went to Vietnam in '66, and I think we had NATOPS then. We had.
okay. But I imagine, would you say that in Vietnam, NATOPS was advisory in nature only?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It was
Okay.
still. You learn the procedures and everything by sea stories.
Oh, yeah. Hangar
Bar
flying,
talk.
these stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Do
Kind of like.
well, can we maybe get one that you remember that you went, oh, I probably don't want to fly that way again, or that seems like a good idea, or one of those. Do you recall any of those that someone imparted to you?
Well, I'm trying to think. I had an experience of vertigo that, but I survived only because I have flight instructors that beat it into me to believe your instruments.
Yeah.
I mean, I was upside down. I was just over the DMZ and night, and I'd working with an Air Force FAC who ran out of flares just before we got on target. So he said, there was a little pinpoint of light, bomb that. So I bombed that, and I made a rolling high G pull off. And I'm looking back for my wingman to come roll in. He had Zuni's. And all of a sudden I saw rockets coming up at him where I thought. And I called him, did you see that? And then he said, what? And I looked at my instruments, and I was upside down. And I was upside down 1G flight, pulling down into the ground. So.
Shit.
Which means you were pulling down at 2 Gs, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did my unusual attitude recovery. Roll the nearest horizon, pull your power back, roll the nearest horizon, pull the nose up, and then add power when you get your nose above the horizon type thing.
Okay.
But I was really messed up.
So after you got wings level, nose up, did you feel like you were flying inverted then?
No, it felt like I was flying in, again, 90 degrees of bank,
Yeah.
all the way back. I landed on a vertical wall.
That's
With-
that's tough.
I've
with
experienced
full
that
top-
feeling one time. It didn't hang with me that long, but oh my God.
Yeah. You got to use full top rudder for the nose not to fall. Lucky I didn't blow all my tires, but
Oh my
I think
gosh.
that's a show title. I landed on a vertical wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I wish I could say I don't know what you're talking about, but unfortunately,
Right.
I do know what you're talking about.
Oh man. So how long into your Vietnam experience was that? So pretty early? Or?
That was well into my,
Okay.
probably well over halfway through my tour. Because I was a section leader at that time, or a flight leader, I should say.
Okay.
It's Chu Lai. It was that south of Da Nang on the coast. Okay.
Yes.
How many squadrons were there besides 214? You recall?
We had, I think there were close to 5 A4 squadrons. We were the only Charlie squadron. The others were all Echoes, A4Es. But we had the Charlies, and they finally got rid of them, Transpac, and we went to all Echoes.
Echoes.
By then, I went to the group staff as barrel briefer. Then we had the way you got assigned a mission, then you go up to the S3 at the group and were briefed by the
That's
we call it the
operations.
barrel. You had your turn in the barrel, and you were briefed on the whole mission, everything, by one of the G3 or the S3 briefers.
Sure. So so you got to turn to be a briefer?
Yeah, for about the last 2 months.
Okay.
Oh,
Was that briefing only, or were you flying in also doing?
Oh, I was flying. Yeah, you fly. You got. That's when I started flying the Echo.
Okay.
Well, Horny, what was a day? What was a day in the life like of a Marine A4 pilot flying out of Chu Lai in 1966? What did that look like?
Well, the 12 hours bottle of throttle was kind of
Advisory.
suggestion. Yeah, but and usually the 12 hours started after your first hop. So
Okay.
we it was kind of a wild time. We there weren't many hard and fast regulations. The GCA at Chu Lai was up. They bragged about it being up 85% of the time, but that was when it wasn't raining. When it rained, it was down 100% of the time. And
so there you go. Yeah, GCA being ground control approach, guys. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Well.
And so
it's I guess it really didn't rain very often there, right?
it rained a lot, especially in the mountains. But
I'm thinking it only rained once the whole time you were there.
Yeah, right.
Started the day you got there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
The summers were pretty good, but the winters were.
That
It was all rain, really. Mud and rain.
Yeah.
I got
Did you ever dry out other than when you were in the cockpit? And even then, you were probably sweating. So
not during the winter. I got launched off the hot pad one night in the middle of a huge rainstorm, and it was one of the must-sees where you have to go. You don't have to come back, so they diverted us to Thailand to an Air Force base, and flying
go
the
through that.
flying the Charlies and those early A4s. We had a engine bleed. Oil would bleed out the side of the airplane, and it would coat the plane with oil. And our flight suits and everything. We were coated with oil, mud, wet. When we landed, I think there were 4 of us that landed and the Air Force basically said, you'd probably be more comfortable at another facility other than ours.
Yeah, because
So
you
we
were
went
just
over
too.
to the Australian club, and they didn't care. They just
Oh
had a
man,
great
How
they
about
didn't
time.
want
that?
you sitting on their chairs in the O Club, huh?
How about that? Isn't that
That
something?
was a good time.
Good times.
Yeah,
Good times.
that was almost like a holiday.
No, man. Titus is asking the question. You went from the C to the E pretty quickly. Was there an instant difference? Did it have more power? Did it have better armament, bombing capabilities, or anything like that? Or
Yeah, there was no formal transition. You just went from the sea, and you got a little bit of a brief on the. You had 2 extra switches, 2 extra armament stations. The engine, the J-52, as opposed to the J-65. The J-52 was much more powerful, and the nose wheel that was it steered. We used differential braking for steering, and it was felt a little different, kind of like going from one car to a different car.
okay,
It's different but manageable.
Okay. Same symbology for the bomb site and everything else. Right?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much everything the same. I'm trying to remember. No, the C's had AGB3 all attitude indicator and E's. We both had the same. Both the C's and E's had the same attitude indicator. Couple extra switches, and that was about it.
okay,
Slightly different engine limits,
okay.
but that was about it.
Nice. All right. Any pre-show we were chatting? You mentioned that you might have been grazed once or twice.
Yeah, I
Wondering
got
if
hit.
you could recall those.
The first one, I didn't even know it till on post flight, and the plane captain pointed out that I had a bullet graze over the top of my canopy. It grazed my canopy, and had gone back and cut the aluminum on one side of the vertical stabilizer. So it never actually, the bullet never came through the the canopy, but it put a gouge about a quarter-inch deep for about 6 inches along top of the canopy.
All right.
And, but I never.
Whose lucky day that was.
Yeah.
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 And then the second time I was escorting some helicopters, and they asked me to do a low pass over a village because they said they'd been getting sniper fire and off out of this village, and so they wanted me to do a low pass. So I said sure, and did a low pass, and they nailed me with
Jeez.
There you go. Helicopters causing problems again. Hear that,
Yeah.
Sticks?
Yeah. Small
It
arms
was,
fire, or was it small arms fire?
yeah,
with
the
Horny or triple A?
12.7 rounds through the wing, and it
Okay.
hit a stringer in the wing going through, so it went in with the 1/2 inch hole at the bottom, and then came out the top with
Big hole.
like a 6 inch
Yeah.
burst out the top of the wing. In flight, I was losing fuel through the top of the wing, but of course, after I landed, the fuel was coming out the bottom hole, and it was right on top of my brake,
Of course.
so it burst into flame while I was taxiing. I had a squadron mate who was taxiing out the same time I was trying to taxi in, and I didn't know that I was on fire. And he called me and said, "Your wing's on fire." And so I just called for the crash crew to come join me. And I had to keep rolling, or the wing would burst into flames. I kept rolling. As soon as the crash trucks got to me, I had already unstrapped, and I was out and over the side and probably 100 yards away by the time the night
By the
shut
time your
in.
feet hit the ground?
Yeah.
Good.
One of those few times in tactical aviation when you have too much fuel.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought that I was going to be short because I was losing so much fuel out the top of the wing, but I was actually overweight when I landed, so the brakes were red hot.
Oh,
by
geez.
time.
Yeah, of course.
And
Boy.
that was another difference. The Charlies had a single disc brake, and the Echoes had a double disc. So the
okay.
brakes tended to be hotter on the Charlies.
Okay. And trying to so that airplane fly again? Just a matter of passing the wing and yeah. Okay.
They flew it to the Philippines and put a patch on it and flew it to the Philippines, and they had a team there that did major repairs.
Nice. Did you ever have to take any jets down there for repairs?
QB, yeah. I took that one down, and I took a couple others. We we had a couple, and we had some received some sort of damage, various above the organizational level and the IMA level.
Okay. And any memorable stories from QB Point?
Nothing I can repeat here.
Statute of limitations isn't up yet.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fair.
Oh, man. Well, geez. Well, we've been going for a few minutes here. I would like to take just a moment or two to mention Derek over at DC Artworks and thank him for continuing to be a wonderful sponsor of our show. So there I was, looking around my developing ready room bar in my basement, realizing something important. Most of the stuff people buy to decorate a room is really just somebody else's idea of what you're supposed to like. Mass-produced, generic, safe, soulless. And that's exactly why DCArtworks.net is such a perfect fit for this show, because Derek doesn't build things for average people, he builds things for your story. DC Artworks is American-made, veteran-owned, and specializes in creating truly custom metal art and fabrication. Everything starts with CNC-cut hardened steel, computer precision for clean lines, durability, and detail. Then every piece is hand-finished by Derek or his team. So no two items are ever identical. This isn't flimsy decorative metal you're afraid to touch. These are heavy-duty, but still lightweight, professionally crafted pieces that feel like they belong in a squadron ready room, a hangar, a serious office, or the kind of basement ready room bar where aviation stories get louder as the night goes on. And here's what really makes DC Artworks different. 95% of what Derek produces is custom. That's right, unique. Yours and yours alone. This is not a pick option A or option B. This is, hey, Derek, I've got an idea. And then he brings it to life. This is exactly what I'm doing right now in my own basement. I'm building a ready room bar, and Derek is making custom Harrier-shaped cabinet door and drawer pulls for me. That doesn't exist anywhere online. That was my idea, and now his execution. That's the business model. Go to DCArtworks.net and you'll see the design library updating constantly with aviation art, squadron pieces, business signage, call signs, military-themed work, and custom fabrication ideas. But honestly, the coolest thing about the site might end up being the thing you ask Derek to create next. He also does powder coating, multi-material engraving, beer glasses, whiskey glasses with squadron patches and call signs, and some absolutely phenomenal airplane-shaped bottle openers that your friends will want. So grab a few of those. DC Artworks is also a military GPC vendor. Yes, government purchase card approved. He offers bulk and repeat customer discounts and remains one of the lowest priced custom vendors in business for this level of craftsmanship. And because you're a So There I Was listener, Derek made this even easier. Go to DCArtworks.net, use the code STIW, and get 20% off every order. Forever. Even if another sale is already running. So don't just buy something generic. Go to DCArtworks.net, contact Derek, and create something nobody else has. And thanks to Derek for sponsoring this episode.
Hey, can I ask Horny how he got his call sign?
There we go.
Where'd that come from?
My first squadron, shortly after I joined, we deployed to Puerto Rico, Rosie Roads.
Yeah.
And we had a commitment to stand a hot pad out of Gitmo while we were there. And so we would go, take a division, 4 airplanes, and fly out Friday night and land at Ramey Air Force Base, which is in the other side of Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And go to happy hour there. And then the next morning we'd take off and go to Gitmo for the stand the hotbed for a couple of days and then fly back. While we were at Ramey, I was, of course, Norris new guy, and he told me to lead the flight. And he said he called it Horny Flight. And so I became Horny lead at the time, and it just stuck with me. And,
Well, I suppose it could have been a lot worse.
And that's
Right.
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I would, yes. Too funny. I wonder if that is, Fig, do you know, is that Barankin now?
It's Aguadilla.
Aguadilla, yeah.
It's Aguadilla, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I guess the town there is
It's
Barranquin,
Barranquin,
which is
yeah.
where we used to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick funny story on that. Debbie and I had just started dating, and I was on reserves and had to go down there. And those days we had a 1-hour call out. So I called her, and she was, I guess, still at the hotel, whatever. Anyway, she's in the van when she gets the voicemail. And I said, I got to go to Barranquin for 3 days. And so she asked the crew, they're all in the van on the way to the airport. She was like, where's Barranquin? He said he has to go to Barranquin for 3 days. I says, are you sure you didn't say he was going drinking for 3 days? No.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what you did in Barranquin. So,
Yeah.
yeah, very cool. Yeah.
We got a couple of questions from listeners right now, Horny.
Yeah, we do.
One is, out of Chu Lai, did you just stay in the South, or did you go north or into Laos on missions?
We flew some missions. Well, we flew some in Route Package 1, which is just north of the DMZ. And we went into Laos to Chapon Ferry Complex and Steel Tiger missions, we called them. So we went. Our chain didn't allow us to go much further than Route Package 1 as far as North Vietnam. And Chapon was enough excitement for
Yeah. Was it mostly, what percentage of your missions were daytime as opposed to nighttime?
we would rotate, and one squadron would be flying nights.
Okay.
I remember, and then we had like three. Usually, we had like 3 daytime squadrons and one nighttime. We'd rotate every month, different squadrons.
Sounds like
Now,
the OV-10
when I
guys.
was-
Squints and Mall.
Yeah, when I was with the group staff, I flew mostly at night, and then those were what we call TPQ missions, radar guided.
Yeah, radar bombing.
Yeah, radar bombing.
And then another question is, were you operating off of the SAT strips, the aluminum strips, or were you operating off of concrete?
I don't know. I was all sets.
Okay.
Well, I
Thanks
guess
for that question, Gator.
I flew a couple of missions off a concrete strip, but that was mostly still under construction the whole time I was there. They finished that just at the end.
So your
Okay.
your tour was 66, 67?
Right.
You were there 13 months is what I read?
Yeah, I was from about, I think it was April of 66 to May of 67.
Okay. And Beitar had sent that question, and he was a big owl, the albino Rio. So he was a Phantom guy. Were you there then, Beitar? You can answer us in the chat. A previous guest. So
Yeah, I recognize
it's a
that.
small Marine Corps. You guys might have been roommates, you know.
You don't know.
So,
I saw the picture of the 311 area. That was very much typical of where I was.
Yeah. Did you put that up, Sticks, or was that you repeat?
yeah, Sticks must have got it over here. Let me
There's
pull
311.
that banner down. And
The revetments,
Whiskey Papa, that's 223, is it not?
yeah,
No.
it is.
is it? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's the Bulldogs.
That's our old squadron right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
23.
Whiskey Lima was 311.
Yeah.
Look at that shit. And then I like the revetments. Hopefully those barrels were not full of fuel.
Oh, they're full of sand. Sand and water.
Okay.
Well, the Air Force guys would stack fuel up like that. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The Marines know better. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I got to take that picture. Sticks, send me that picture so I can put that on the website when I put up this episode here.
You got these, Beitar says October 66. Got to July in October of 66. So you guys had you guys had a little overlap there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you did some carrier calls in the old club together.
So what was the club like at Chulai? What was it in a tent, or was it actually have hard sides, or what did it look like?
Oh no, it was a tent. We had hard sides up for about 3 feet on each, and then open. That Southeast Asia hooch.
Yeah. Was it
The galvanized roof.
and it was it a dirt floor, or were you walking around?
No, we've been upgraded. We had hard floors
nice
board floors.
Was the beer cold, or was it Luke cold?
No, we never had ice. It was always
okay.
It was all warm beer, but and we made do with you run out of something, you substitute. We started drinking French 75s, I remember, on New Year's Eve.
Okay, I give up. Horny, what's a French 75?
Yeah.
French 75 is brandy and champagne. But we didn't have any brandy. We didn't have any brandy, and we didn't have any champagne. So we ended up drinking scotch and orange Kool-Aid and called it a French 75. Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's outstanding.
Man. What was the gent we had on? Now I can't remember what it is they drank. It was vinegar, wasn't it? Scotch and vinegar?
No, it was
white something.
White vinegar and scotch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good Lord.
And that was the episode where the gent shot the water buffalo.
French 75 is a classic celebratory cocktail made with gin or cognac, fresh lime juice, simple syrup, champagne, or sparkling wine. That's the actual recipe.
Or
scotch and Kool-Aid.
Scotch and orangeade.
Orangeade.
Yeah. Hang.
It had a fizz.
Fantastic.
To it, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well, so Beitar says he was there in 323. They were the first Phantom Squadron to get the new concrete runway, late 66. The A4O Club was a building on the beach. So, all right.
Yeah.
Far out. How many combat missions did you have, Horny?
235, I believe.
Wow. That's impressive.
It is.
A couple of weekends since I was.
Since you had to do that?
Yeah.
What was a typical loadout on obviously depended on what you had to do, but if you're going on an attack mission me do this. Did you do deep air support or close air support more?
Well, mostly we call them. We had close air support. One of the rotations we had was a hot pad. The hot pads were just about always close air support when that was part of that weekly rotation. One of the squadrons would be on hot pad alert. One was on night, and two were doing the frags out of the wing frags.
Can you describe what the hot pad is for our listeners that aren't really aviators?
Yeah, the hot pad is just it's a term for planes are on alert. We would put two planes. The way we did it, if we were assigned to the alert, have the alert for, let's say, beginning at 0800 in the morning, we go down about 7:30 in pre-flight and load or run through all the checks, start up, run through all the checks, set the trim, get everything except pulling the pins for the landing gear and the bombs. Yeah, and the weapons. But everything would be set like right to the point of pulling chocks to leave, and we shut the engine down, and then we go back to our quote ready room, which was a hooch, and you'd sit there by the phone waiting for the phone to ring, and then with all our flight gear on, and then we usually had 4 airplanes, so you'd have 2 configured for close air support and 2 for like a Hilo westward with rockets and guns.
Okay. Yeah.
But the others would be bomb snakes, and the phone would ring and they'd tell you which type of mission it was. It was rockets or snakes and apes, and we go out the door and start the engine, and by the time we got the engine started and they'd pull chocks, and the guy would hand us our briefing card. It was on a pole with a clothespin. He'd reach up the cockpit and give us our briefing card, and we'd taxi out, and we could be airborne from the time the phone call came in. We'd be airborne with 2 fully loaded planes and check in with the TAC center in less than 5 minutes from the time the phone.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
And how long would you sit, with your gear on and everything, alert? How long? You remember?
Hours.
Yeah,
2 or 3 hours sometimes minutes. It all depended on what was going on.
Yeah.
I got launched one night. Can't remember. It was New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. I can't remember which night it was, but it was during a supposed ceasefire, but we still had to man the hotbed. And so I volunteered, another buddy and I.
What could go wrong? It was a ceasefire.
Yeah, it was
fine.
ceasefire. And we'd been hung over from the previous days, so we decided to take the hotbed. And so and they launched us right at midnight.
Oh boy.
And of course, when the rest of the officers club heard us start up and take off, they all came pouring down the ready room, down the flight line to see what was going on. And we were sent on a mission, and basically came back, and they told us don't bother logging it, or that was it.
Don't bother logging it because it didn't happen type thing?
Exactly.
Well, there was a ceasefire going on, so you didn't fire anything.
That's right.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
Do you have a most memorable mission that you always think about, or was it all kind of all exciting? I guess
Well, the time I got hit in the wing.
that's memorable. I don't suppose you never forget that, because you came back on fire, for crying out loud.
Yeah. And but the rest of them were a lot of boredom. The weather, coming back in the weather, not knowing what condition when we call for July landing and they say 5,000 scattered, we didn't know whether they're talking about the ceiling or the runway.
Yeah. Right.
oh,
It was,
man.
we had several times we come back at night, and they had those, those black cannonball type flare or flame pots.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Smudge pots.
Yeah.
Yeah, smudge pots. Those were our runway lights. We didn't have
Oh, wow.
they just stick out those smudge pots, and
Oh boy.
that was colorful. But we got
That's
used.
crazy.
Hey, Horny, would you mind? You mentioned one of the loadouts for
There you go. That's my question.
was snakes,
napes.
snakes and nape. Repeating, I know what you're talking about, but could you explain that for our non-tactical aviation listeners?
Yeah. Well, napalm. We carried a 500-pound napalm can, a big aluminum can. They're kind of they weren't pointy. They were just blunt at each end, and when you dropped them, they tumble and break when they hit the ground and spray that jellied fuel that would then ignite, and so it put out a path of napalm. And the snakes are snake eye bombs, which were usually we carried 500-pound general purpose bombs with snake eye fins.
Okay.
That were,
and those are high dragged fins, right, for low angle
right.
bombing.
They'd open up.
So the bomb didn't stay with your jet when you let go.
Yeah.
Well, you basically you gain separation from the frag pattern by outrunning the bomb. You'd pickle a bomb, and the bomb would retard behind you
Which is key to
like an umbrella.
shooting yourself down.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Thank you for that.
very cool.
But we would.
Did you guys ever do any loft bombing with the A4?
No.
No.
Well, we did. That was one of
but
our
not in
missions.
Vietnam.
Yeah, not in Vietnam.
Okay.
It's hard to do
Well,
close air support with loft bombing.
Let me ask a not so. Well, it's not a comfortable question. How many combat losses did you guys have while you were over there, on your tour?
Oh man,
was there a lot? Did you lose a lot of airplanes and pilots? Do you recall?
I think we lost like 19, but not all from Mag 12. That was Mag 12 and Mag 15, the F4 combined during the year I was there. Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's about 19 too many. Ugh, horrible. Any of your buds make it up to Hanoi?
Not from that.
Not from then.
I was in later at the end of the war. I was part of the Operation Homecoming, escorted one of the POWs back. Waldo Walsh was shot down over Benoit, or out of Benoit. He was shot down, and I didn't know him, but I knew an F4 Rio that I was supposed to escort home. But when we got to Clark on the Operation Homecoming, found out the guy I was supposed to bring back had died in prison, but they had pop-up POW at Waldo and asked if I'd bring him. And of course I said I'd be delighted. And so we brought him, met him at Clark, and we rescued him.
That's a great picture. That's that back of the C-141, I believe.
Yeah.
Stick's putting up a picture of the flight. Looks like they either cleared the airspace or just broke ground, but plane full of POWs on their way home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
What did your Marine Corps career look like after your Vietnam tour?
Oh. After Vietnam, I came back and went to Beaufort. I was squadron pilot. The Marine Corps was expanding really fast, and we were all promoted to, we call them temporary majors. We were all given a temporary rank of major. So basically, they gave us the rank, but Congress hadn't approved it yet. So
rank no.
And I did that. Was in Beaufort for a couple of years, then got out and went to the reserves and flew for Northwest for a couple of years, and well, was laid off from Northwest for a couple of years, and then came back in and went to Yuma as a flight instructor. At that time we had a RAG 102, VMAT 102.
Oh yeah,
and did that for a year, and then back overseas to Iwakuni for a year, and then
as a staff officer or squadron pilot.
I was in Iwakuni. I was with the G3 plans.
Okay.
At that time, that's when I got introduced to the nuclear mission. So I was emergency action message officer, but we didn't have any planes at the time because they'd gone back to Benoit. And so I was stuck in the wing staff for a year, and then came home and went to Meridian as a flight instructor. I was a maintenance officer there, and flew there for 3 years, and VT7, and then I went to Naval War College, Naval Command and Staff, actually, and stayed on the staff at the Center for Wargaming. Came back to Cherry Point and picked up VMA 331, where I was a CO. Was CO for a little over 18 months and took him to Iwakuni. Came back from that deployment and went right back as the XO of Mag 12. But I was able to bring my wife, my family with me. At that time, even if you were on independent duty or non-sponsored, I guess they call it.
Yeah.
And then, so I went, I was XO to Mag 12, did that for a year. And we really enjoyed that tour in Iwakuni. That was a lot of fun. I was still flying. I flew the TA-4 there. And then came back from there, and I went to station at Cherry Point. I was airfield ops officer. Then got promoted to, or selected for promotion to colonel. And they offered me a job in England with Silk First Control Group, which is the airborne command post for St. And I was the team chief, which is a great tour because you stand alert for 1 week, and then as a team chief, I didn't have any other collateral duties. So I'd be off for 3 weeks, and my wife and I would travel Europe, then come back and do it all over again.
Sounds like a pretty good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out, I happen to know that any time they spent in Belgium or France, that his bride kind of understands the language.
Yeah.
So that must have been fun.
It was. She, being French, she knew her way around France.
Nice.
Nancy, France.
That's the way to experience France, with someone who knows it.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Show you that. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Very cool. Very
Then
cool.
after
Where
that,
is she from in France?
Pardon me?
Where is your bride from in France?
Janine from Nancy.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's from Nancy. Okay.
Yeah, that's why our daughter, Nancy, her middle name is Lorraine, because Nancy is the capital of Lorraine. Turns out my ancestral home, several generations ago, was from a little town called Waldhambach, France, which is in Alsace, which is only 40 kilometers from Janine's hometown.
I'll be darned.
Which was
nice.
That was unique.
Yeah.
Surprised all of us.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Very cool. So I'm sorry. So I interrupted you. You were talking about the tour in the United Kingdom, week on and running around. So what else how did you wind up with that one again? And why wasn't I offered that? That sounds like a good gig.
Right?
Well, the monitor happened to be a squadron mate of mine from Vietnam. And he said, "Would you be interested?" And he said, he knows I'd just done a tour as XO of Mag 12. Would I be interested in going back overseas? But this time it was an accompanied tour, so there'd be sponsors. So I said, sure. And he offered me the job, and I took it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fantastic. And can you talk a little bit more about what that entailed? As you said, it was Airborne Command and Control for SYNC, so Commander in Chief of European. It's a NATO post.
Well, it's not NATO. It's
no.
TACUR would be the NATO equivalent. It's
okay.
It had to do with the nuclear mission.
Okay.
It's a purple suit. The silk purse had about, I'd say 60 or 70 people in it. Half are enlisted and half officers. It's divided into 4 teams, and you have a team chief, a battle staff commander, logistics, intelligence, communication officers, and then you had senior NCOs. These are E8s, E7, E8.
So the guys that knew how to run the place.
Yeah, and they
Nice.
we all had, and we basically relay nuclear orders out of DC, and I can't get too much into it. A lot of it's probably still classified. I don't know.
Right on. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, very cool. And then getting to travel around Europe in the meantime.
Yeah.
So sounds like quite the big staff.
Oh,
very
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Great treat.
Was that your Finney tour?
No, I came back and they brought me back, and I still had about 5 years to do. So I was a wing inspector, then the G1 of the wing. Then I moved upward to station, and became chief of staff.
Second Mall Chief of Staff?
No, I was ComCab East, Commander Marine Corps Air Bases Eastern Area.
How many years total? How many years total did you serve, Horny?
30 commissioned, 28 active duty. The 2 years I was inactive was when I was with the airline.
Outstanding.
Okay.
Did you ever go back?
Yeah.
Did you ever go back after you retired to flying for the airline, or call it a day?
No. Called it a day. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, I opened a French bakery.
All right.
He did, which is where I first met him in Havelock.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, right down the road from our house there in the next to, the pizza place. People that have been to Havelock know it, and Mario's.
Mario's Pizza, yeah.
A couple of doors down from Mario's Pizza. Yeah.
Outstanding.
So, yeah, it was good stuff.
There is a guy, we were able to sell it, the bakery, and then I retired.
Well, got up the same time whether you're in the Marine Corps or running a bakery, I presume.
Yeah.
So,
I'd rather be in the Marine Corps than run a bakery, I tell you.
Right. Yeah. Well, you didn't have to put up with civilians in the Marine Corps. There's many anyway. So, all right. How many hours did you wind up with in the A4? Do you remember?
A little over 4,000.
Oh, gee, only 4,000. Wow.
Right.
That's a lot of time.
0.9 hours at a time, I'm sure, on a good day.
They gave me a certificate back in, I think when I gave up to Squadron 331 is when I got my 4,000th hour. And McDonnell Douglas gave me a certificate then. Then I had a little bit after that. Maybe
4,000 hours. That's a lot of time in that airplane.
That's a lot of up and down the ladder.
It's a lot of up and down. And, considering it's a single engine airplane, never having to, pull the handle, that was good. That was a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good run.
Absolutely.
It's a good little airplane.
Did you ever have to on a non-maintenance flight, did you ever have to disconnect the hydraulics and fly it manually due to loss of hydraulics or anything?
I did a lot of it on post-maintenance check flights, but never for real.
That's a testament to Douglas right there.
Right?
Yeah.
I had
and then there was the oil light where he had to push it to see if if the light would come on, or if it came on all by itself. Did you ever have the oil light?
No, never had an oil light.
Okay.
I had a flame out.
Oh.
But that was self-induced. It's when I was squadron commander, I was chasing a low level, and I was back slightly stepped up to the rear, and I was chasing the lieutenant on one of his low levels, and right down by Cape Fear at the low level of Starstand there. And
VR 1074.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, I looked down at he was heading for the wrong coast-in point, and I looked down at my map on my kneeboard, and when I looked up, he was racked up. Just all I could see was his canopy right in front of me.
Oh,
so I yanked the engine, the throttle back, and rolled to the right at the same time. And it threw my arm out, and as I pulled the throttle back, it went past because it was outboard, it went past the D10. And then when I went to add power, I felt a little click as the throttle went forward. I said, uh-oh. and I went down. Everything was unwinding, so I tried to catch it, and I couldn't catch it. So I dropped the rat, and I could count the revolutions as the rat came up to speed, and I'm still doing probably 400 knots. And I climbed up, scrubbed the igniters. I'd gone to manual fuel, scrubbed the igniters, and came around the horn, and the engine caught right away. So
Thank goodness.
that
Thank
was
goodness.
that was the only problem I ever
Closest you
had.
came to giving one back.
Yeah.
Oh man! And for those that don't know, the rat, I think it's in our glossary, but it's the ram air turbine, provides electrics.
Right.
And
get those igniters going again. Get that flame going again.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
But it worked perfect. I mean, if it was all 100% my fault, so I told maintenance to check it real quick and then put it back in service. So that's what they did.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, that's an airplane too. That, I mean, it's just an extension of your body too. So by then, I'm guessing it just is natural. Like that is what I need to do. But many people say you don't fly the A4, you wear it. So
yeah,
exactly.
That's a good analogy.
Really fun airplane.
Yeah. I loved my time in it. Fig got a little more than me, but man, I just love that airplane. It just was as responsive as could be. So, well, I think it's probably getting to the point where we need to land this airplane, and I'd like to go back and close the loop on your opening. So there I was. Here you are. Where we left you off was at night.
Over the water.
On the tanker.
Yeah.
Through the weather.
At 90 degrees of bank.
At a 90-degree angle of bank, yeah.
Well, I was on my first night refueling mission out of Rosie Roads, and the flight lead, my instructor, I was 3 months into the squadron, and my instructor was another lieutenant, and you put two lieutenants in a flight, you're
you're just asking for excitement.
Yeah. Well, we were rendezvousing with the tanker, and of course the tanker is going along at 220 knots, and we came closing up with about 250 knots closure rate, and he decides to do a high G barrel roll over the tanker, and then we roll out. And as we roll out, that's when, to me, the tanker just rotated 90 degrees, or rolled 90 degrees.
Yeah.
And the instrument said we were straight and level, but I didn't believe him.
Right.
So again, trying to plug at night you got to use full top rudder to keep the nose up.
Yeah. I honestly could tell you, I know exactly how you felt. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All self-induced.
Good stuff. All right.
Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Indeed. And thank you for our freedom.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
It was an honor to hear your stories and to meet you. And the time went quick. I mean, it says we've been talking an hour and 24 minutes. It seems like we've been talking about 15.
Hard to believe. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you. Thank to all those on active duty and the veterans and their families who sacrificed so many birthdays and anniversaries and weddings and funerals and everything else where they couldn't be together because someone was on duty. Their support made it all possible. And we're just as grateful to you. So we need to thank the folks over at backbeatmedia.com. Dave Hamilton makes much of this possible. We're grateful to Dave every day and every time. And one came across the transom a couple days ago, Fig. Someone call Sal Marinello's financial advisor.
Oh, boy.
And tell him to cut off his bank account. The dude's throwing money at us again.
Thank you, Sal.
Yeah, he Venmo'd us $50. Thank you, Sal.
You're questioning your financial judgment, but boy, we are humbled by your generosity. Thank you.
We are indeed. So we've got some Patreon. So there it was.us/Patreon. So there it was.us/donate. And we'll get you to the Venmo, which Venmo gives us a bigger cut. So if you're going to make a one-time donation, we deeply appreciate that. So, geez, anything else we should mention? I did mention that we have the glossary, but what if someone wants to tell us how well we're doing?
Well, they can give us
pat us on the back.
They could give us a 5-star rating for crying out loud. And if you can't give us 5 stars, give it to somebody else. And by the way, we are trainable. Let us know what is going on, right?
Right. Drop an email to fig@therewas.us and tell them what I'm doing wrong. So
I think
the merch store?
Yeah, we got a merch store. So there I was.us/merch. Bikini season's rapidly approaching. We have bikinis, t-shirts, hoodies. I tell you what, if it's not made, we probably don't have it. But,
Right.
koozies, drink, beer mugs, beer glasses, coffee mugs. All that stuff. All that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So got our sponsor this week again, dcartworks.net. Think of something you want made. Go to dcartworks.net.
You can make it.
Reach out to Derek, and you're going to be amazed at the things that man can do with steel and glass. It's, yeah. Thank you, Derek. We deeply appreciate your continued sponsorship. Come see us. If you are listening to the podcast, it's too late. We're already back from North Carolina. If you're listening to the live stream, come see us at the Harrier Sundown, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and I guess on into the 4th at Cherry Point, North Carolina. Come find us. We're going to be in Havelock at the picnic. We're going to be at the 223 Open House. We're going to be in Morehead City. And
we're everywhere.
Come tell us your story. Yeah, We're going to have microphones and a table, and we're going to get some stories down there from you. So reach out to us. Come say hi. Come tell us your story, because we're just a conduit. We fell ass backwards into this niche that we're in, and we're deeply honored to have folks like Horny and everybody else who share their stories with us. We can't believe it. Brad Silcott is going to be there. Badass. BDSAviationphotography.com. Man,
artwork.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man. So
got Sticks in the background doing some producing for us today. Thank you, Sticks. Thanks to Bago, who's normally here, but he's working for real.
Bago's bagging it today.
Bagging it. And then that sound you're hearing, that's the sound of the F-16 pilots that made the Air Force sound good. That's the Dos Gringos.
Both of them. Great Americans. Great music. Goes without saying.
You having a bad day? Listen to one of their songs.
Okay. It'll cheer you up. I don't know. Any advice until next week, Fig?
Don't sit on the ejection seat handle.
Don't do it.
Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond of all the shit I was wearing on that day. Now an F-16 is cramped enough, but it's even worse with all that stuff supposed to save your life. But we knew there was no way. 'Cause when you're going down the North Atlantic, man, it's over.
Hold on. It's what?
He said it's over.
I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you.
And we're
out.
Woo! All right.